Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Well, the waiting is over. We are about to get started here today. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We'll be calling the action for you. Frank, the golfers look ready to go. And as someone who's been in this situation yourself, what sorts of things are you thinking about before starting the round?
Rhythm, I think, is a big key at TPC Sawgrass, Rich. You've got to keep your rhythm. You don't actually hit a lot of drivers out here, so position is really the first thought that you'll have. Get that ball in the right position. It is very much a second shot golf course.
Frank, what's the best way to get at this first hole?
Ideally, you want to go with a short iron. Makes it easier to keep the ball on the right level.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. 2-1 over par early on in this round. Frank, what do you make of the par 5 second?
Doglegs to the left, so there's a decision to be made here all the time, but a good hooking tee shot. That takes the trees on the left out of play and even the rough on the right. Good tee shot here. I've seen people get home with as little as a 5-iron. Rich, not only is that a good drive, that is a perfect lie. Look at the way in which that ball is sitting up.
That's the kind of lie that puts you in a really good mood. You want to get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18 with a chance. 16 is the reachable par 5. You can make eagle there. And then the final 2 holes, you just want to steer clear of trouble. Though, with bold play, and you mentioned it with Craig Perks, you could make birdies.
It really is a case of mind over matter when you look at those holes. You're right. If you took away the water, you'd think they're 3 nice holes. But it wouldn't be the same. You intimidate the player as he plays 15. He's well aware of the finishing 3 holes.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You've hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Wow, I thought he made that. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Hoping to drop only 1 shot, this for bogey. Slipping just a bit, another bogey, and now 2 over par. Frank, a nice mix of holes to start, so here we go with a par 3 at the 3rd.
Very narrow at the front of the screen, and that bunker too, you don't actually see it off the tee, the back left bunker, and it sneaks into that left side. So if that flag is on the left, just be careful.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look.
Second shot.
So 1 over par for the round. Frank, how difficult is it to access the hole location if you miss the fairway here at 4?
Well, if you miss it left, I've got to say the lesser of two evils is to be in the bunker on the right.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. Frank, the second here at the 4th is a dangerous shot.
Once again, this is another example of where you have to look at the green. Where exactly is the flag? If it's on that high portion, you've got to fly it all the way back.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Stacking birdies, that's how you put a score on the board. So 2 straight and headed in the right direction. Now to the 5th. This long par 4 thought to be one of the most difficult holes on the front side here at the TPC Sawgrass.
If you've got plenty of length in the bag, you can almost take it directly over the bunker on the right. But if you're not as long, you have to air down that left side. Ah, nice.
Looks good. So where the hole is cut, just about 190 yards, Frank. That shot does finish up on the green, but it sets up for a very difficult putt. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. That was not a very good read right there. And getting ready for the putt. That's costly right there.
Painful.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Well, it was bound to come to an end at some point. Drops just 1 shot after that terrific stretch of birdies. Frank, you don't want to get too cute with that second shot here at the 6th.
I remember many a time, Rich, when they put the flag right of center. You try and hit a little bit too close, those palm trees all of a sudden come into play. Hits one of those, that ball can go anywhere.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Just a beautiful approach shot. Shouldn't be a problem here. Nice putt, and now back to level par. Frank, what do you think of the 7th?
Interesting par 4 for two reasons. The undulating green on the end of the hole that also shapes to the right, that makes it look like a dogleg right. But really, you want to play that tee shot just inside those pot bunkers down the right side.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
His second shot. Well, Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You've got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it.
Even par, currently.
Still even par for the day. Frank, this is a hole that I really like. The 8th, 237-yard par 3, just a necklace of bunkers surrounding the green. What's the best approach?
Well, you come out through that chute or that hallway of trees there, and this being the longest of the 4 par 3s at TPC Sawgrass, the green actually plays much smaller than what it looks because of that narrow entry. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Slight miss, and he'll have to deal with some of the heavy grass. Frank, this ball's in the rough. You like to hinge just a little bit quicker on the takeaway when the ball is down like this?
No, when it's down, you've just got to make sure that you wind up almost like you're hitting a tee shot. This is not one to be dallied with. You've got to hit it powerfully, and you really have to focus on that club getting through the grass, past the ball, and out the other side.
Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich. Great sense of speed in that. We know you can make those, but that one right in the middle.
Frank, what do you make of the final hole here on the front side, the 583-yard par 5 ninth?
Just depends on how much you want to risk here. If you hit a good drive down the right side, it's certainly gettable for 2, but you can make an absolute mess here at 9.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Now the second shot to the par 5.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Well, we've seen this before today, in the bunker. Routine stuff here, Frank, from the bunker?
You just got to be careful of that lip in front of him with his third shot coming up. Should be safely on dirt. And that's where the men separate themselves from the boys. That was just a beautiful bunker shot.
That's skill right there. Nicely holed. 4th birdie of the day. Let's get the back 9 started here at the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass and break down the 10th for us, Frank.
Well, it's similar to the opening hole. The 1st and 10th give you the same feeling where you feel awkward off the tee shot. Difference to the first hole, you've got to poke your tee shot towards the right side of the fairway here, turning it into a dogleg. And similar thing, now you're going back across the fairway to the green.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Frank, where's the difficulty on this approach here at the 10th?
It's really the shape of this green. That little front piece, you have to be right on the money there. And then, of course, that green starts to open up and then move to the right.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie. Ooh, chance for birdie.
Bottom of the barrel, and now the 2 under. Hole number 11, 558 yard, par 5. Frank, players in attack mode here.
Yeah, just try and blitz it down there. There are other bunkers on the left to consider, but really, with that much fairway, this is a green light opportunity.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. That one ends up in the rough.
That went sideways.
About 80 yards left, Frank. Frank, not where he wants to be, but not out of the hole here at the par 5.
No, but Rich, to drop a shot here would really set him backwards.
And he's made the green. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy.
Oh, Rich, that was a huge putt. You don't expect to make them from that distance.
Here now, the 12th hole at the TPC Sawgrass. It's a 358-yard par 4, so short on the card, Frank, but obviously a challenge. What's the key here?
Once again, trying to find that right position on the fairway, and that's down the right side. Anything down the left, that mound is going to block your view. Oh, that had some meat behind it.
Frank, drive down the right side.
Yeah, and it certainly opens up. Now you've got a full view of the flag, and this is birdie time.
Good swing, good shot yet again. That will be a great look at birdie. These putts keep the round together. Has the birdie and moves to 3 under par. And Frank, we always like when they have the whole location back left and that ball trickles down, feeds, and you can see some really good ones and maybe even an ace here.
Yeah, just like Mickelson a few years ago. Down there, it looked like it was going to flirt with a bunker, ran up and over the ridge, and in it goes. This is one where you have to play ground ball as well as high ball.
Well, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
That's well played. And now a good look at birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
3 under on the day. Now one of the most demanding holes on this golf course, the 14th, 481-yard par 4.
If you want a litmus test at TPC Sawgrass on who's playing well, check the tee shots on 14. If you stripe it down here, you know you're driving the ball well. Too often we see people messing with the mounds on the right. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Frank, there's a lot to factor in on this approach at the 14th.
You can favour right side of this green and sort of allow the contours of the green just to move that ball to the left.
Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th.
It's that sneaky distance.
Just didn't read that one quite right. Has this one for par. Good effort and good par putt. Just before we get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, 15 requires all of your attention, doesn't it, Frank?
Personally, I think this is the prettiest hole on the golf course, Rich. I've actually often gone back there and taken pictures. Just a gentle dogleg to the right. You come out of the chute. Seems to be a generous fairway. You just get a little view of the bunker down the right side, but virtually there's no lip there, so that's not a concern. The green, all sorts of weird and wonderful waves on it, well protected by a big bunker on the left, and there's two little pop bunkers out on the right that, well, if you're first time around, you might notice.
Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is going. Rich, there's nothing worse than this. This might look all right, but in the mulch, this is a disastrous situation.
So this is not mulch ado about nothing?
Ah, I get it.
And he's made it onto the green. Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. Frank, I think one of the things that fans love about this gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, each hole has that sort of hold your breath moment. Certainly 17, we know when that ball's in the air, you're holding your breath. Is it wet or dry? 16, same on that second shot. You're holding your breath wondering, where is it? Right in the water or left with a chance for three?
That's why you don't want to get too sloppy on that tee shot. A lot of people look at 16 because there's a wide fairway and they think just get it down there. The extra 10 or 15 yards, there's a little ridge down that left side. If you catch that, the ball will kick good 20 yards further forward. 20 yards is 2 clubs. I'd much rather go into 17 with a 4-iron than a 2-iron.
And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Just 5 feet left. Good putt and a good move. Now to 4 under. Frank, how early in the round are you thinking about the shot at 17?
Well, when you're playing well, you're pushing it ahead. Maybe you don't think about it till 14 or 15. If you're struggling, you might be thinking it early as the 5th or the 6th hole. But put it this way, when you make the walk from 16 to 17, you are thinking of it every inch of the way. Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. So, dropped the shot after ending up in the water on that recent miscue. Now on to his 3rd shot after the last one went into the water. Has a shot of about 145 yards. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, This is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Oh my gosh, that hurts. Well, that's just a case of not focusing right there. What a lapse in concentration. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Now at -2 for the day. Now one of the more difficult holes in golf. The 18th here at Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. In 2013, this hole averaged .39 strokes above par. What makes it so challenging, Frank?
Just that big body of water that's to the left of 18 here, that's also shared to the right of 9. Not a single fairway bunker on this in this 18th hole. So really, lack of definition. It's so hard to find a target here.
Nothing wrong with that one. How about 300 yards and in the fairway? Now he just needs one final good swing here, the approach shot to the last.
That green's starting to look a little smaller than what it did earlier in the day. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. On the way. Surprise, surprise.
I tell you, just when you thought things were going to go the other way.
Frank, I have to say, I've been impressed by the level of golf today. Really came out here with a solid game plan and executed.
And consequently, a very solid round. Continuing with that kind of play can certainly put you in the winner's seat.
People always talk about 17 being visually intimidating. Frank, what about 18?
If there's a little bit of wind off the right, the tee shot is so much easier. But if that wind is coming off the water, not only do you see the water and the wooden bulkheads, you see all the rough and the trees on the right. And of course, then you start bringing 5, 6, 7, even 8 into play. That's what